Welcome back to the channel, my peoples. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I bring to you a highly requested video by Make That Change. Original video link will be in the description down below. Today, we got what to wear in the freezing winter in Canada. How to properly dress when it's freezing, when it's cold outside. You see what I'm saying? Cold, man.
Many people complain about winters in Canada, and for many people winter is a true nemesis. But we always say if you don't like wintertime, it's because you don't know how to handle it well, or maybe you don't know how to dress up warmly and properly.
Hopefully they show us like some stuff throughout this video of like, different races and people, walking around. Basically, I always say different colors, bro, because there's a big stereotype in the U.S. Black people don't like the cold, but I see black people walking around with shorts on in the cold. You know what I'm saying? So why is that a stereotype in the U.S.? Because I'm pretty sure we go to Canada, there's black people in Canada that are immune. They are they are adapted to that climate, and they're walking around with shorts and tank tops, bro. Now what? What are stereotypes? You know what I'm saying? Let's stop the stereotypes for real. All black people don't. Let's stop it. We got black people in the winter sports and Olympics. Yeah, have you watch TV? You know what I'm saying?
Like, have you know how TV? To dress up warmly and properly.
People just be in a little bubble.
A coat is single-handedly the most important piece of item you want to own for winter. These days, some people prefer having different coats for different types of temperatures. So if you're thinking of getting several coats too, depending on which province you want to live in, you can refer to the temperature ratings in the clothing brands that you're shopping for. Jackets and coats with down filling are the warmest, though heavier in weight and more expensive. But if you're looking for something lighter, cheaper and easier to dry, you can opt in for synthetic materials.
I, for instance, have one down jacket for temperatures from around +5 to around -10 degrees Celsius. It's not thick, very light, and it keeps me warm thanks to down filling. If I were in Vancouver, this would probably be the only piece of winter clothing I need, plus an umbrella or a raincoat. But here in Ontario, it can get really cold in winter, even though it's not getting too cold too often. But
Hey, forgive me, guys. I've been trying to catch on to things a little quicker, such as military time and converting. Yes. Oh my goodness. Celsius and Fahrenheit. So basically, if she says 10 degrees Celsius or should I say 20 degrees Celsius, do we multiply that by 6? Is that all the time? Do we multiply by 6 in our head and then boom, there we go? So she says 10 degrees Celsius. That really means it's what, 60 degrees Celsius? Because that was a light jacket, That was a light jacket. I had one of those, a polo one. Yes. As soon as that wind hit you, it's not the best for winter, For that moderate type of like a spring type of thing. Yeah. So if it's 20. That means it's about, wait a minute, because nobody would be wearing that 80-degree weather. Let alone anything higher. Wait, I may be confusing myself, guys. I need somebody to help me out. What's an easy way to just convert it real quick in your head? If I hear the Celsius, I know, okay, that's Fahrenheit. This is that Fahrenheit, so I can really know. Can somebody please? It's like a trick. I've seen it before. I think it's like a trick. Maybe if you multiply it by 6 or something. I know we have some geniuses watching my video that can help me out in the comments. Please, if you know me, I'll catch on to it very fast. Just please help me out. I don't want to keep this video long.
Those times I have a proper winter coat.
When choosing a winter coat,
10 degrees Celsius is what Fahrenheit? 10 degrees Celsius is 50 degrees? I said 60. I may be wrong. Guys, I may be thinking about this completely different. What's this right here? Yeah, I may be thinking about this completely different. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna need my people to help me out in the comments. Forgive me. I'm trying. I just made a fool out of myself on the tube.
Make sure it's thick enough to keep you warm on bitterly cold winter days, especially if you live somewhere with humid air, like here next to the Lake Ontario. Because when it's windy, you can feel cold air creeping through your clothes everywhere. Many winter coats are also wind and water resistant to keep you dry and warm during the snowstorms. For winter sports, I have a synthetic jacket and I wear layers beneath. Many people prefer layering in general, not just for sports activities. It creates more air traps to keep warm air close to your body, while base layer absorbs and evaporates moisture and sweat. So if you don't want to buy too many winter coats, make sure to buy several layers you can combine together, like an onion or a cabbage,
Right.
whichever analogy you prefer.
Because we have people that don't want to walk around like all puffy and big and stuff with their big jackets on. I'm getting ready to get me a little can of goose. Man, I seen that online. I like the little jacket. The little big things. I like the jackets. Can of goose. It's been getting colder nowadays.
Back to winter coat. Make sure your winter coat is long enough. It should at least cover your bum properly. If you're a fashionista, you probably think of those trendy chicks with very short jackets that expose your bum and lower back. Our personal advice: don't do it, unless you want to develop health problems down the line. If you settle down somewhere with temperatures below -20 degrees Celsius, I strongly recommend having your coat at least hip or even knee length. The colder it is, the longer your coat should be. When I was a kid,
I'm sorry to keep pausing. Same for men with these long trench coats. Is it so like you don't get a hernia from like sitting, I guess, like sitting on cold benches and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just like that, you know? Do you guys sit on the coat part? Is it long like that for a reason, or just so the air doesn't really come up, like right here by the waist? Like air is easily gonna get in if you're wearing a short jacket. Come on now. You lift your arms up, you're cocked, you know? So let me know, please. Oh.
growing up in Siberia, my mother it is, the longer your coat should
Like,
be.
is it meant to sit on, or is that just the fashion when you standing up? It's long. It's a long trench coat. You know, I'm thinking about hernias and stuff, how cold it can be out there. So you got sweatpants on or this or that.
I was a kid growing up in Siberia.
I know men don't wear tights normally. Forgive me for pausing. I know men don't wear tights normally, only females. But there are some men out there that believe in something different, you know? That like the same gender or this or that. Or they believe something different. They go by something different. And they happen to wear tights as well. You got to think about everybody. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about everybody. The men too, they can still get hernias. They're wearing tights and stuff. So is that why, or no? Am I thinking about it too much? I'm gonna keep it.
My mom would always remind me, keep your kidneys and genitourinary system warm. And as someone who grew up in Siberia, I had a
I
first
just said. This is why I don't want to pause no more. I just said that. I'm on the right track.
genitourinary system warm. And as someone who grew up in Siberia, I had a first-hand experience with illnesses caused by freezing temperatures during the winter. So I
Same
must
with women.
caution you, keep your lungs, kidneys and genitourinary system warm, because
I did not know it was lungs and kidneys as well. I just thought it was the genitourinary system. Oh my goodness, you learn something new every day. I'm over here educating people on one thing. There's two other things I should know about. You got to keep your lungs and your kidneys warm. Man, some of these people out here going, oh, I don't want to say that. Never mind. But the way they be dressing?
they're very sensitive to cold temperatures.
Pay attention to how your coat covers your neck. If it doesn't do so properly, buy a scarf to keep the wind away from exposed skin. Nothing feels worse than the cold wind that creeps underneath your jacket because your neck is exposed. We will talk about the importance of hats in the moment, but regardless of whether or not you like to wear hats in winter, make sure your coat has a hood. Having fur on your hood doesn't matter that much. It might give you a feeling that it protects you from wind better, but it's more like an aesthetic touch in my opinion, rather than anything else. The depth and adjustability of your hood is a lot more important.
Many people prefer winter parkas or waterproof ski jackets. If you prefer to be dressed more formally, you can choose long and heavy wool coats. Just make sure you're warm and comfortable enough.
If you were to take away one or two things from this video, is that the warmer your coat, the better, the longer your coat, the better, and it's always a good idea to have a high collar and a hood on your jacket. And remember, no one has ever gotten sick because they were too warm in winter.
A good quality winter coat for an adult might cost anywhere from 100 to 600 Canadian dollars, and for a child from $50 to $150.
I mean, we're talking about quality here. Come on. We got to spend a little. We're talking about quality here, man.
Unless you care for your hairstyle more than the danger of meningitis, I suggest you get a hat. And if you want to know more what meningitis is, you can just Google it. In short, meningitis is an infection of fluids surrounding your spinal cord and your brain that causes inflammation and swelling. In cold weather, we lose most of our body heat through our heads. Covering your head helps prevent this heat loss. If you don't like wearing hats, you can choose headbands, earmuffs, or scarves, or at least your jacket's hood, like we mentioned a minute ago. Make sure to cover your ears, especially when it's windy, to avoid frostbite or earache, which can be very difficult to treat or heal completely. The warmest winter hats are made from wool. Cheaper options would be fleece or another synthetic material, but they will be less warm and will let the wind through. Synthetic materials are also easier to wash and dry.
You will often hear Canadian people call a winter hat a toque. And a toque is a distinctly...
That's what you guys were telling me to wear in the hot tub. Because the heat, my head. Y'all were telling me, Strac, you was out there in the hot tub, and you went out back into the water park, you out there and it's snowing. But you in the hot tub, and it's mad cold outside, and your head is wet. Your head is wet from being indoors. This is locks right here. These soak up water. This will, if I get this wet, oh, I'm cooked. 2 weeks. I'm soaked up water. Soaked water. I can feel it. I can smell it. You gotta be very careful, guys. And it just got to me, you know. Outside, I'm shoveling. I'm taking the snow off the cars and everything. And I noticed like I'm getting very hot. I'm overheating, man. Like I'm sweating outside. Ugh, forgive me. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna take a sip of that water. But yeah, like I was getting very hot. Starting to overheat. I'm starting to feel like sweat dripping down my face. I'm like, whoa. Like, and it was getting dangerous because I get to taking my hood and my hat off. I'm like, oh, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. This is how you get sick. So I'm sitting there sweating hot, trying to thug it out. I'm talking about hot. Like it's a summer day, I'm sweating because the way I'm working, the pace I'm moving, I'm putting it back, man. I'm going, baby. I'm moving. I'm hot, sweating. But you know what? You gotta get her done, right? Nobody got time to sit outside and look cute while it's mad cold. You're gonna warm your body up and let's hurry up. Plus, I had the call going and she's a gas guzzler. I had the call running. Oh, that gas guzzler. If you know, you know. If you got a car like this, gas guzzler.
Canadian word for what Americans oftentimes call a beanie. So many people wear toques in the winter, and they're often seen as an unofficial symbol of Canada, to the point that toques become attached to people's heads and you see people wearing them all year round, no matter where they go.
If you were to take one thing away from what we've just said, you should get a nice, thick, ideally woolen hat that covers your ears properly. Hats vary in style, material, and brands, and a nice hat can cost anywhere between $15 to $40.
That's what I be saying. Y'all be purchasing all these designer beaties and exclusive clothing materials and stuff and whatnot. Y'all still be freezing outside.
As we talk about gloves and mittens, I'd like to make sure that we highlight that our body reacts to cold by redirecting the blood flow towards the vital organs, away from extremities. And that means that your feet and your hands will be the first ones to freeze. So in order to keep our hands and feet warm, it is important to keep our whole body warm. And it's also important to protect your hands and feet, since they have temperature receptors that are connected throughout our bodies with other organs, such as respiratory system, which can react to hypothermia with runny nose and cough. When cold, our body's immune system redirects its efforts to fight with hypothermia. And that means that it no longer directs its resources to fight with any potential viruses you might already have in your bodies. That is one of the reasons why you may feel under the weather the day or two after you've been exposed to cold.
Mittens and gloves can help you keep your hands warm.
She answered my question. Remember the whole hot tub incident, guys? I didn't even mean to click that just now. Remember the whole hot tub incident, guys? And I was explaining it to you all how I got sick that day after. Like, I was just really down under the weather, guys. and my body was aching. I was sore. It's because of that, man. I wasn't, I was out there in that type of climate, and your boy had no education towards it. Literally. Because Strac don't do the cold. And I was out there in the hot tub with them people. I had no business being out there, man. Them people probably used to it. My body was not used to that.
You feel under the weather the day or two after you've been exposed to cold.
Real.
Mittens and gloves can help you keep your hands warm. Mittens usually preserve the warmth better, because all your fingers work together to warm each other up. The downside is they usually make it difficult for you to use your fingers and hands. When playing outside, children often wear mittens because of their warmth and insulation. Gloves are usually easier to wear, and you can find a variety of styles to suit any taste and budget. Warmer and more expensive models are usually made of wool or have down insulation. Cheaper options are usually synthetic, but they're easier to wash and dry. We, as lovers of winter sports, would always recommend wool, down insulation, and water resistance. Our personal advice is to get a pair of mittens for extreme cold weathers, and a pair of woolen or insulated gloves.
Average price for gloves or mittens would be anywhere between $15 and $50.
We'll have you walk around feel like a boxer with the mittens on, man.
As we
No
keep
good.
traveling down south, let's talk about boots. Boots must keep your feet warm and dry. I don't recommend wearing sneakers for temperatures below 0 degrees.
Yeah, I did it in sneakers too. I didn't get no snow on my shoes though. I was very cautious. Luckily, yeah. Your boy was good.
Warm and dry. I don't recommend wearing sneakers for temperatures below 0 degrees. Their leather can crack, they don't have enough insulation, and your feet will get instantly cold. And their soles aren't designed for snow and ice conditions, so they can be very slippery.
Low-cut boots are a little bit better because they cover your ankles. High-cut boots can cover up to your knees. Higher cut is always better, especially if you plan to walk in places with lots of snow. Getting snow inside your boots is not for the faint-hearted. Some boots are designed to be water-resistant or waterproof. Good winter boots will keep moisture away from your feet and be well insulated to keep your feet warm. Some models offer fake or real fur for insulation inside, and you can pair them with woolen socks for the best result.
We highly recommend getting a few pairs of woolen thermal socks to keep you warm. Our advice is to get properly insulated boots that cover your ankles, and don't forget to wear warm socks. Do not wear short-cut cotton socks, because your feet and ankles would get instantly frozen.
Good quality boots for adults might cost anywhere between $100 to $200 and $30 to $70 for children. And if you want to get a really good pair of socks, expect to pay anywhere between $20 to $40 per pair.
Interesting. Okay. I didn't even know that boots came up to the knees, honestly. For men too? Is snow really that high out there?
And if you decide to settle in a city where minus 20 degrees Celsius is a common occurring in the winter, we highly recommend you get insulated pants. Because in the end of the day, as you remember, it's important to keep your genitourinary system warm. And at the same time, it's also very important to keep your knees warm, as the fluid in your knee joint is very sensitive to cold temperatures. And if you don't keep your knees warm, you might have problems with the knee joints when you get older. Nowadays, there are a lot of different pants types with different temperature rating.
Some models can be thinner with synthetic insulation, and some models can be very nice, warm and thick with down insulation. Some look more casual and some look sporty and are basically suitable for skiing and snowboarding. If it's not too cold in your area and you want to go for a more formal look, you can choose another option and to get some underpants or thermal tights. These tights are made of wool or warmth-preserving material and are thin and can be worn under your jeans or even dress pants. Insulated pants can cost around $50 to $150 for adults and around $40 to $100 for children, while thermal ties can go around $40 to $80.
Oh wow, that's a lot of clothing items for you to buy if you've never owned winter clothing before.
And that's a lot of money to spend.
Winter clothing like that. Not like that before. Man, at that point, it's not about style and fashion. It's about protecting your body, your organs, keeping yourself healthy and warm. get to where you gotta go because you ain't got no business being out there in that weather anyway, unless you a worker, that has to be out there. You know what I'm saying? For real. I'm thinking like, man, maybe it's how big the jacket is. What you got on this? It really just depends on. Okay, put some cozy socks on, insulated boots, insulated socks, pants. Like you don't have to even put a big coat on. It could be just layers. Just make sure stuff is insulated and stuff.
So now let's talk about how you can save some money when shopping.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'm about to say that.
And of course, one of the ways to save money while shopping is to buy secondhand.
We ain't got it like that.
And of course, one of the ways to save money while shopping is to buy secondhand. In Canada, it's common to buy secondhand clothing, furniture, and other items. You can buy these goods at stores operated by voluntary or religious organizations, such as Goodwill Services or the Salvation Army. There are also independently owned second-hand stores. You can also buy second-hand goods from garage or yard sales, or websites like Kijiji, Craigslist, or Facebook Marketplace. Frankly speaking, I'm personally not a fan of buying used clothes, but winter jacket is something I would consider.
Another way to save some money on winter clothing is to look for deals. And we made a whole separate video about how to find the best deals in Canada. We will link in the description box below so that you can check it out. We recommend you watch out for any deals, coupons, and sales that different clothing brands have on a regular basis.
Oh, we like the deals, yeah.
The Boxing Day or the Black Friday sales are a great time to buy winter clothes, especially the most expensive one. And our personal advice for you guys is to check out the lasthunt.com website, which we both use a lot. You can find really great deals on outdoor clothing of really great brands with up to 70 or 80% discount. And this video is unfortunately not sponsored by The Last Hunt.
Yeah.
You ain't finna play me for my pockets though. I would need one of my Canadians to buy it for me, and I would have to sell you the money after the fact. I need it shipped out. Yeah, we gotta figure that out. A PO box, something. But I gotta make the purchase. I gotta do the transaction though, cause I don't want y'all buying it for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to buy it for me. It's like, but I know I'm gonna be waiting forever, and a tax for me is gonna be off the chain, especially for Canada Goose. That's a really good jacket, guys. I did research on jackets. I'm not into all the expensive stuff. All that type of elegant fashion wear, this and that. I don't care. Look at Adam Sandler, bro. That's an idol. Like, that's an idol. He don't care what he wear. It's just be great, be you. Nobody cares about all that. What's in your bank?
On the coldest days of winter, I personally forget about fashion and choose warmth over style. You should not feel silly while bundled up in a warm winter coat, pants, hat, gloves, and boots. You should feel good because you're warm and comfy. Guys, seriously, your health is more important than the way you look to some strangers who you'll likely never see again on the street.
Don't forget that children are much more susceptible to colder temperatures than adults. A good analogy here would be to use water. A puddle of water will freeze much faster than a lake. Same with adults and kids. An adult will take a lot longer to feel cold under the influence of ambient temperature than a small child. It all has to do with the temperature and the body surface ratio. One of the best ways to keep warm in winter in Canada...
Like the blubber? You're talking about like the blubber? We don't have blubber. That's animals. Like the fat... Because if somebody weigh like 300 pounds, they might be able to walk outside shirtless and be like, it's not cold, but I can see your breath as you speak to me. If it's just me, outside 180 pounds, I might be like, oh, it's a little chilly, man. Somebody a little lighter than me in the hundreds, they might be like, it's ridiculously cold out here. Oh my gosh,
is to stay active. If you're well prepared and dressed warm, winter can be so much fun.
Don't miss out on winter activities and sports to enjoy in Canada. The snow and ice make it into a beautiful winter wonderland here. My biggest tip is to go outside and enjoy the winter, explore, and the winter will fly by faster.
That's it for now, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the like button if this video was useful to you, and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned on our upcoming videos. Just
make that change. Your original video link will be in the description down below. Amazing video brought to us today. Fabulous. These two women were excellent. This was great. I like how they broke down everything. I understand, jackets. Should I say winter apparel? way more than I actually did before. What jacket you got? Put in the comments. What jacket you rocking? Did you get a Canada Goose? And what is it like? Is it warm? Before I purchased it, though, do me wrong. Is it warm?